So the Niners, which we talked about yesterday, 6.5 in the market, basically, had a conversation about, do we like the Raiders in the game? Maybe at 6.5. It was like kind of a tough game to figure out. Line was pretty close to my projection. If you followed the betting markets this morning, you know that the number went to 7 around like 11 a.m. to noon Eastern time, and then started moving a little bit from there. Started getting pulled by a bunch of sports books who probably detected that some fishy activity was going on, that there's probably some information that they didn't have that was being bet into them. It got pulled in most places, and when it reopened, the number was 10. So currently, it's literally Niners minus 10 at every sports book on earth, basically, that you can find right now. This is like a number that seems really stable. It's probably not going to move a whole lot more. It's worth noting the total also did drop in the game to 41.5, which is down about 2 points. Anytime you see a quarterback move, you're going to see the total move as well, because the team that has the backup quarterback is going to be unlikely to score as many points. That affects their team total, which implied affects obviously the total of the game. So total 41.5 down a little bit. Side to 10 from 6.5. Then from here on, it becomes less about line movement and more of about just a discussion between, about the drop off from Carr to Jarrett Stidham, the type of game that this implies, which is the Niners to win by a very large margin on the road, and whether that's justifiable. Niners have been great and they've won by large margins a lot this year, or whether it's a situation where you want to take the underdog. And just, I think that's more of a subjective conversation. The line movement, at least, is the Niners went to 10. Real quick, there was another market that was impacted by Derek Carr getting benched for the rest of the season. It's so funny, we have to do this market 2 weeks in a row. It's so obscure. Carr took over the league lead in interceptions with his multiple interception performance against Pittsburgh. That's a market you can bet on for who's going to finish with the most interceptions at the end of the year. Now he holds the lead solo. It is possible that he will just win, and by win I mean he threw the most interceptions, so he really lost. But that he will throw the most because no one else will throw enough to catch him. That's actually possible. There's only 2 games left, and some quarterbacks are probably going to sit in week 18 that we're not expecting or that we can project. But those markets stayed open a lot longer. There was an application for the info. Carr was a minus 120 favorite, and a lot of other quarterbacks who were still obviously alive to throw interceptions were behind him. So that would just be another one. I actually think that is still open in a bunch of places. There isn't like a magic bullet kind of a bet to make in that spot. It's just kind of like you can create a bet basically that not Derek Carr is going to lead in picks by price shopping a bunch of guys. But that was another ancillary market that was affected.